and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to New York Comic Con. It is day 2 here in 2015. We are live on the Twitch stage, brought to you by Courtyard. And I'm DJ Wheat. And you know what? It's a big weekend for The Walking Dead. Not only does Season 6 premiere this Sunday, but also just recently released as The Walking Dead No Man's Land mobile game. And joining us this morning, cheery and happy to be here for all of you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Norman Reedus.
Good morning. You guys hear me on this thing?
They can hear you, yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm good. I mean, tonight's our premiere, so...
You guys sold out.
I mean, it's not our TV premiere, it's our in-person premiere, but we sold out Madison Square Garden.
That's crazy.
Well done.
We're on Jay-Z right now.
Yeah. And you're excited for that, obviously.
I'm terrified, to be honest. And then I was up all night trying to memorize lines because we're still filming, you know. We still have 3 more episodes to go, so...
Well, can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And also just released this week is, of course, The Walking Dead No Man's Land, which is a mobile game based on the AMC's The Walking Dead that you are basically the guide in.
Yeah, we did the ADR in Georgia while I was filming. You know, talk like this the whole time. It was a lot of fun, though. It's really weird to see yourself in cartoon form.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm sure it is.
It's very fun. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a cool game. So.
And we're going to check it out in just a second. This is the second time, we were just talking about it, this is the second time that you have done Daryl Dixon in a Walking Dead game, Survival Instinct, and then this one.
Yeah.
I mean, Daryl's getting he's got some good legs going on these games.
Yeah, I can't remember if I cuss in this one. I know I cussed in the other one. Hopefully I cuss in this one, too.
I gotta stay true to form.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Exactly. We're going to check it out and bring up, so first off, it's available, of course, on the App Store. You can go to getnomansland.com. And this is actually the very beginning of the game where, just to kind of set it up, you've, of course, got some survivors in Terminus, and we all know from the previous season, like what happened there.
Lovely.
And well, appears to be, right? So then these survivors escape, and they run into none other than Daryl Dixon, who ends up being sort of their guide. And I have to say, when I first played and got to go through the intro, one of the funniest things is that these survivors who make it out, as we'll see here, and they go, "Yeah, so can we join your group?" And your character's like, "Nah, I don't think so, but I'll help you set up this base here." And that's kind of how the game gets started. But
I don't think Daryl trusts many people. You know?
Yeah, you've been through enough. Your character's been through enough. I'm sure that.
Meet this guy.
But I thought that
throw me under the bus. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
But yeah, it's sort of a turn-based game, and although The Walking Dead is an action-packed TV show, underneath that layer, there's all sorts of layers, or there's all sorts of strategy that your characters are having to do in the show, and so it kind of takes that concept from The Walking Dead, and that's how you deal with the walkers a little bit.
Yeah, there's certain weapons you need, certain things you can find to get to the next level. There's certain things that happen in the dark you have to get through. Yeah, it looks so real, too. Like, it takes me right back to being there.
Back at Terminus.
That sign. Yeah.
And so the strategy game, if you've ever played a game like probably most recently XCOM, where you're sort of each of your characters takes a turn, and then like Norman said, you've got like different weapons. So you've obviously got the people who have handguns. Oh, hey,
who's saving the day?
It's a weird-looking redneck right there.
Good-looking guy, though. It's not too bad.
They're all creepy.
And, of course, I love that because it goes right into the Walking Dead theme song and kind of takes you and sets the tone of the game. And now
they did these, too. These credits are like our credits.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Except it's all, it's all from the game.
Yeah.
And so I got to ask, because you, of course, this is sort of live action you in the game. It's just your voice. But you mentioned that you recorded while you were shooting. So it's probably pretty easy for you to just go from one thing to the next. You just stay as Daryl all day.
Yeah, you kind of, when you're down in Georgia, and you're hanging out with Teamsters that all have that thing going on, it's kind of... it's kind of easy to keep it going.
Yeah.
And then you come back to New York, and your friends are like, "What happened to you?" But yeah, I mean, it's all part of getting into character. I mean, Andy Lincoln has a British accent.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's walking around there. It's all. We've been, it's our 6th year, so it's not that hard to jump back into it.
Sure.
So in this first mission that you go through, we were talking earlier because I was like, Daryl, we don't get to actually play you in the game because you are sort of the guide. And in this first mission, you like dispatch 4 or 5 walkers to make it so you could even, pass the game.
Yeah, and I like that we have Dale's Winnebago back there from way back when.
So as you can see, you kind of go through each player or each of your survivors has their turn to take it out. In this case, you start off and basically everyone has very basic weapons. You're all kind of melee, except for your character Norman. And then you've got to get to the safe area, and that's kind of the goal of each of the levels. But as you get further along, they might have levels where it's like, hey, there are survivors here. You have to find them all. But of course, once you do, you alert walkers, and you've got more threats to deal with. And as you definitely know from all your work on the show, that the more walkers, the more dangerous it is.
And some weapons are louder than other weapons.
Right.
And they'll call out walkers. Like if you pull out an AK-47, it's sort of a bad move. You got to do it and run.
Yeah, I had a bad experience with that, actually. Because the first time I got a character with a gun in the game, I was like, all right, this is going to be easy now. But then the alert at the bottom immediately is like, hey, good job, you used your gun. There's going to be 5 more walkers coming in 2 rounds. And so you have to just think about what you're taking into each of the stages.
It's so crazy how realistic video games are nowadays. You know,
especially on an iPad too.
It's banana. I mean, what happened to asteroids? You know what I mean?
Well, they made it 3D and it is.
Yeah.
Do you game much yourself? I mean, I know you're super busy, so it could be.
I mean, I have a 16-year-old son, so he kind of kicks my butt at games sometimes, and then I have a hammer that I keep in his room, and I'll smash the controller. And then I'll have to go back to Best Buy and buy another one over and over and over.
That's going to be me pretty soon with my son. Yeah, they're too good, too fast.
Yeah. But these are so realistic, and it fills you with a feeling of fright when you play these games. It's kind of insane.
They do a great job on it. So Jordan now is going to play live. So what we saw was just kind of like when you grab the game and you download it. And so I have no idea. Jordan has only played a little bit, so we're going to see exactly how he does. Yeah. And while we do, Norman, obviously season 6, a lot of excitement around it, both from show watchers and comic readers. How excited are you for? I know you're excited for the premiere, but just the season overall.
I mean, this season it's like the first episode is kind of pulling back a longbow, and then how it ends, you just let go, and this entire season is just that arrow flying through storyline. And then there's a certain feel that the first episode has that we've never done before. There's a technique that's used that's way different.
I mean, I'm really interested to hear you say that because, frankly, I thought the first episode, I believe it was the 5th season, was that the Terminus, over the tub episode? That was actually one of the most intense scenes I'd ever seen on television.
Oh, wait. This season's by far our most intense.
More intense. Right. We watched it together, and my jaw dropped.
It was a year ago, right? Wasn't it during New York Comic-Con?
Yeah, we watched it together.
Wait, this season's...
It blew us away.
This season's crazy. It's a whole nother level this season. So.
I like to hear that. One other question that I've always wanted to ask you, because I'm a big fan of not only the comics but the television show. Yeah. But even from comics to television, a lot changes. But you're sort of that one element that never existed in the comics. So you have sort of an unknown road to everyone out there. Is it more fun to have a character like that rather than one that sort of had some dictated story arcs and involvement in the comic book?
There was an old movie that Willem Dafoe was in ages ago, and I remember in that film he plays this greaser biker guy, and Catherine McCormick directed it, and he goes and he meets this lady, and his friend goes, "How was it?" And he goes, the door was wide open. I kind of, when people ask me that question, I think of that for some weird reason. But and you know, it's nice to create storyline with people as you're going along, and you know, but on our show, a lot of times they'll give this guy's death to this guy or this girl's death to that guy.
Right.
You know, they'll mix it up on you, so you don't quite know what's going to happen. Like at Terminus, you know, the wrong guy got eaten. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So,
Right.
you know, so they keep you on your toes. But I like not being in the comic book, and then I keep telling Kirkman, I'm like, come on, man, put me in. You know.
Well, I mean, they obviously love to put you in video games, which is great too.
Yeah.
I mean, they could keep.
It's a lot of fun being in video games, I have to admit.
So, I mean, you mentioned Terminus too. Like, Terminus is a location that you'll visit here, as well as the prison and some other, whether you're a fan of the television show or a fan of the comics, you'll definitely notice a lot of the locales that you know, that you'll visit. And then another interesting aspect that I'm not sure we'll actually get to see, but of course, you as your friends can make like groups or guilds of survivors, and then you will compete against other survival groups, and you know,
which is a lot like the show.
I mean, it is.
Certain groups that are doing things that didn't really group up before.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right. And of course, a lot of people have been asking, but the Google Play version, the Android version, will be coming soon. So you know, if you're not an iOS user,
nice.
Don't worry. Jordan, you seem to be pretty good.
I love this person dressed as a horse over here. Keeps going, hey.
I've actually, there's quite a bit Walking Dead cosplay.
I see one right there.
Yeah, we've got a Rick right there.
Yeah.
And a couple folks, and I see some Norman toys out there. And
oh yeah, that little.
I'm about to get wrecked over here. Oh, no.
Uh-oh, Jordan.
Not good.
And well, you only have 7 turns until 2 more walkers come.
I got this.
You should turn this up super loud.
Oh, that looked painful. Ooh. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And if you notice that the car trunk is also blinking, so you can send someone up there.
I did not notice that, Marcus.
Oh, wow.
Now, but I set you up because when you hit red thing, okay, it didn't do it. Sometimes when you trigger anything red, whether it be like a car or like a crate container, like a shipping container, it could alert walkers. So you always have to be careful. It's risk reward, as many things in the Walking Dead.
Now you just made a bunch of noise. Now they're gonna come get you.
Yeah. Jordan's really good at
I'm
making
pretty good in the zombie apocalypse, dude.
Nice.
All right. Well, Norman, it's been absolutely a pleasure to have you up here on the stage. Anything else that you want to say to your fans? A lot of fans out here right now.
No, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are our people, so we hope you really like Sunday's episode, because it's pretty badass, I have to say. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out, and please check out the game and have fun. New York City, you know what I mean?
Thank you so much, Norman. A reminder, The Walking Dead No Man's Land can be picked up on the App Store. Just go to getnomansland.com to have this guy, Norman Reedus, a.k.a. Daryl Dixon, guide you through being a survivor out there, and what a harsh world it is. So we got a ton more coming at you live here from the New York Comic Con 2015 stage, presented by Courtyard. We'll be back with more after this. Don't go away.